Imagine a leader who never craved the spotlight, but still ended up shaping global finance and policy. A man who faced financial meltdowns, Brexit drama, and climate change warnings head-on, all while keeping a cool, unshaken demeanor. Meet Mark Carney, economist, diplomat, and the unexpected power player who quietly became one of Canada's biggest exports to the world of finance and leadership. Welcome to The Political Exposure, where we explore the lives of the world's most impactful leaders. We'll take a look into Mark Carney's journey, from his early days in Canada to leading two of the world's most prestigious central banks and influencing global public policy. Disclaimer: this video is for educational purposes only and does not promote any political viewpoint. All information has been thoroughly researched. References are in the description. Have thoughts or corrections? Drop a comment or email us. So, who the hell is Mark Carney? Mark Carney was born in 1965 in Fort Smith, Northwest Territories, a picturesque town in Canada's Northwest Territories known for its stunning natural beauty and outdoor adventures. Yep, not exactly the Wall Street jungle. But don't be fooled, this quiet Canadian town was where Carney's sharp intellect was first shaped. His mother, Verley Margaret, was a homemaker, and his father, Robert James Martin Carney, was a high school principal who later transitioned to academia. Basically, learning and discipline ran in the family. When Carney was 6, his family moved to Edmonton, Alberta, opening the door to even bigger opportunities. His mom even went back to university when he was 10, proving that lifelong learning wasn't just a concept in their house, it was a way of life. With 3 siblings to keep him on his toes, young Mark wasn't just reading textbooks. He was absorbing the world around him with an insatiable curiosity. While other kids were outside building snowmen, Carney was probably calculating their structural integrity and maybe playing as a goalie on his hockey team. Carney's academic path was nothing short of relentless. He headed to Harvard University, where he earned his Bachelor of Arts in Economics in 1988. Then, instead of taking a break like a normal person, he jumped straight into Goldman Sachs. Because, why not? Carney worked in their London, Tokyo, New York, and Toronto offices, gaining first-hand experience in global finance before deciding, hey, let's take this to the next level. So he returned to school, Oxford, no less, earning a master's in 1993 and a doctorate in economics in 1995. And here's where things get really interesting. Instead of staying on Wall Street and raking in millions, Carney pivoted to public service. In 2003, he joined the Bank of Canada as a deputy governor. By 2004, he was at the Department of Finance, representing Canada at G7 meetings and overseeing major financial moves. Fast forward to 2008, the financial world is on fire. Banks are failing, stock markets are crashing, and people are panicking. And guess who just got promoted to Governor of the Bank of Canada? Yep, Mark Carney. If you thought leading a country's central bank during normal times was hard, try doing it in the middle of the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression. Let's break it down. The 2008 financial crisis started in the US when banks gave out risky loans, subprime mortgages. When people couldn't pay them back, the housing market collapsed and banks started failing. This sent shockwaves across the world, causing mass layoffs, stock market crashes, and full-on economic panic. Canada was affected too, but Carney wasn't about to let the economy sink. His strategy? Cut interest rates fast to make borrowing cheaper and keep businesses running. He also ensured Canadian banks had enough liquidity, preventing a full-scale meltdown. Thanks to these swift moves, Canada recovered faster than most G7 countries. Carney's handling of the crisis made him a financial rock star, so much so that in 2013, the UK poached him to be the first non-British governor of the Bank of England. Imagine going from handling Canada's economy to running the financial heart of an empire. No pressure, right? At the Bank of England, Carney had to deal with Brexit, a political and economic earthquake. While British politicians squabbled over what to do, Carney kept the financial system stable, ensuring that businesses, banks, and investors didn't lose their minds. But perhaps his most radical move? Pushing sustainability in finance. Carney argued that climate change wasn't just an environmental issue, it was a financial risk. And he didn't just talk about it. He worked on new regulations that forced banks to consider climate-related risks in their investments. After leaving the Bank of England in 2020, Carney became the UN Special Envoy for Climate Action and Finance. Translation? He started convincing major banks and investors to put their money into sustainable, climate-friendly projects instead of fossil fuels. Oh, and during the 2020 Panda, he also advised the Canadian government on economic recovery, because, of course, he did. In 2024, he was named a special advisor to the same task force, focusing on long-term strategies to strengthen Canada's economy amid global challenges like climate change and inflation. He advises on tying economic growth to sustainability, such as expanding clean industries and modernizing infrastructure. Mark Carney wasn't just shaping financial policy, he was shaping political strategy. The Liberal Party saw an opportunity, and in March 2025, Carney was sworn in as Canada's new Prime Minister. And he wasted no time shaking things up. His first move, a complete cabinet overhaul, 18 former ministers gone, a fresh team in. Even the Deputy Prime Minister title, scrapped. Bold, right? Carney is focused on job creation, affordability, and economic stability. One of his most talked about decisions, ditching the consumer carbon tax while still investing in green energy. It's a balancing act, but if anyone can do it, it's Carney. So, what can we learn from Mark Carney? First, quiet competence beats loud promises. Carney isn't flashy, but he delivers. Second, adapt or get left behind. Whether it's finance, climate, or politics, Carney evolves. And third, leadership isn't just about power, it's about purpose. Carney's journey proves that when intelligence meets determination, even the quietest forces can reshape the world. If you found this deep dive fascinating, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know your thoughts in the comments. Who should we cover next? See you next time on The Political Exposure.